Come into the room, family. Come into the room. I am the H-Town vet, and I would like to welcome you to this live stream, a place where we will discuss a variety of benefits available to veterans, active duty members, and their dependents. Come into the room, family. You're welcome. Family, we just want to thank you for being here tonight. We're going to get ready to acknowledge you. We thank you. So we're going to acknowledge the people that came on in. Let me get this right. All right. Now, family, I let y'all know that I might come in a little early, but I came in right on time. I scheduled it for 7 p.m. instead of 6. I had to take care of some family business. J. Oliver was the first in saying good evening to H-Town and the family. And I said hello to him. Then Betty Bob's come in saying, H-Town, hello. Hope you had a lovely weekend. It's been good so far, sister. And then Betty Bob saying hi to J. Oliver. And then our brother here says, evening shipmates, POTUS gave speech for Navy 50th anniversary. Never give up ship. J. Paul Jones. So he's Navy now, I guess. Now hold on. When is the Navy's birthday? Is it today? We celebrated last time. Let me know. I hope I hadn't missed it. We're gonna acknowledge it. Charleston says hello, Betty Bobson. And can you hear me? Let me know if y'all having trouble hearing me. Anybody else having trouble, let me know. Now, let's get to it, family. We want to thank you for being here. We thank you for showing up. We appreciate everything. It's saying that my sound is okay. There's nothing wrong with my sound. So let me know if anybody having problems with my sound, because we got to continue. All right, family. All right, let's get going, because I got a new cable. So that's not an issue. Now, family, let us continue. Right now, we've reached our goal of having 2,000 subscribers. Okay? Now we're headed forward. We have a couple of goals, okay? Let us continue. Going forward, we don't have just one goal, we have two. And they're kind of tied together. One is dealing with the live chat. Family, you're going to learn something about me. I'm the type of individual that I like to address issues and I like to get them out of the paint. I don't like confusion on my channel, unnecessary confusion, so we address it. So when it comes to live chatting, going forward now to live chat, we want everybody to be able to do it. We've been pretty smooth lately, but we're going to stay on top of the game. So we made several changes to the channel. But when it comes to live chatting, that's going to be a privilege, not a right. Okay. Now, so new arrivals, people coming into the channel, it's not going to be like it was before, where people just popping in and then trolling and derailing, or because they got creative with the trolling. They would pretend to be different people, and so we're addressing that issue where we just shutting it down. So any people that come in now, I'm going to be looking at them, seeing what's going on. Okay, you've been here a while, but you hadn't been chatting. All of a sudden you chatting. I want to know what's up. I'm paying attention. In my mind, we're going to greet you and welcome you. So new arrivals, that's going to be after I'm right now. I have a thing where I want to do it to live chat. New arrivals, you're going to have to come in when we get 5,000 subscribers. And even then, family, because I'm not relying on chat. I'll do this for y'all. All right. Even then, if it becomes an issue, I'm gonna go back to what we have, the mark where only people that's been in a certain amount of time. This is the control you have, you see. I have, you see, when you can, if it's a problem, you just, because they can't fake when they subscribed. So if they get blocked, if they get a new channel, they won't be able to do anything if I change how long it takes you to be here to chat. All right, like a water hole, right? When you out in the wild, it's a water hole. It gets smaller and smaller. So you getting to know who's there, who's not, who's the predators, and when somebody becomes a problem, they up out of there. Simple as that. You know where everybody at until we get the quality people we need. Smash that like button, family. We appreciate you for joining us. We're going to get ready to get into the information. We thank you for being here. Smash that like button if this information has been informative or, is informative as we go through it. Now, we're going to get on topic now. And the topic for tonight is we're going to deal with the government shutdown. All right, family. In 2025, the federal government in the United States shut down, and what that means to veterans, federal workers, and also the regular common individual in the United States. We're going to look at this from several aspects, and you're going to get the information that you need. Some you may already be aware of, but we're going to tie it in a way that really gives you a clear picture of what's going on with our government right now. So we're going to cover tonight these topics. Of course, the government shutdown as it relates to, and we're going to say services. So how does it affect services to veterans not impacted? So there are certain veterans, certain things with our benefits that will not be impacted. Services to veterans that are impacted. Then its impact on Social Security benefits, whether that be regular Social Security or Social Security disability. Now, federal workers, how it affect VA employees and other federal workers. The effect on active duty military members, the shutdown, what effect does the shutdown have on them? Then we're going to go into the last question where it'll be more interactive with you. Who is to blame for the shutdown? And we're going to be covering a couple of videos and commenting about that. Now, the question is, how will the government shutdown affect veterans and their benefits? That's our primary question, but we will address other issues. Now, the shutdown, the main thing that everybody worry about is money and the flow of money. Anytime there's a government shutdown, it gets everybody attention because it deals with those coins, those funds. Now, when it comes to veterans, our big concern is how it affects our benefits, whether it be VA benefits in the form of VA disability compensation, VA home loans, the National Cemetery, burial, benefits, and or healthcare dealing with the VA hospital, VA clinics, and community care, and even emergency room visits. So these are things that can all impact us as veterans financially. So this is our concern from our perspective. Now, the first one, VA compensation will be protected. VA compensation will be protected. Now, what my concern is, so how much you get every month will be protected. The percentage you get will be protected. The different benefits, some of them will be affected in certain ways, but most of them dealing with financial compensation will be protected. And we're going to go into more detail about that. Now, So in general, they will be protected. Now, one thing that was concerning me is, will people receiving new ratings get their back pay on time? Now, they have the money allotted for us to get our VA disability checks every month, those of us that are disabled veterans. However, do they have the money set aside for people that just won their claim, and will they get their retroactive pay? That's my concern. All right. So you got to look at all of it. I'm listening to everything they say. So if you're between 10 and 100%, because you start being compensatable at 10%, your monthly payment for now, all right, for now is covered. All right. I put that for now in air quotes. It's just like in the military. We're dealing with conditions on the ground, and we're going to break it down. What you talking about, H-Town? We're going to go through this 360 degrees all the way around. Now, also, not just your VA compensation is covered with the VBA, the Veterans Benefit Administration. The VHA, your healthcare benefits are protected also. And we talked about that. And so, and if you haven't signed up, go over there and sign up. Don't let them discourage you about the means test or what you have to do to qualify. You keep doing it until they give it to you. So VA healthcare benefits will continue as usual, depending on what priority group you're in. You can go to the emergency room at the VA, outside the VA. I would suggest you keep your VA healthcare card updated. They very seldom ask for it at the VA when you're going up there. When you go to the VA hospital, do they ask you for your VA healthcare card, the white card, or they just ask you for your information, your name, and your last four? Let us know what they ask you. But if you go into an outside doctor, you need to have that. So, and you need to report to them within 72 hours that you went to an outside doctor so the VA can cover it. If you're in the right priority group, where the VA will cover the emergency visit because they couldn't make it to the VA hospital. Now, VA clinics, as we said, VA clinics should be, they are covered. All right. Sometimes the VA clinics are part of other hospitals. So Jay Oliver said they just ask him the name and last four. I write it down on paper. They be mad at me and I give it to them because I don't like to say it out loud, but that's me, security reasons. Now, they don't, what's the reason of having the card? They spending all this money for us to have it and they don't even use it. That's real contradictory to me. We might have, now let's see. Let's just say name, last four, except the pharmacy, show card. Yeah, so what good is the card if they won't use it? They want you just to say your last four. Why can't they just use the card? Somebody, we might have to have a live stream on that. Let's talk about it. So clinic visits outside the VA hospital, when you go to the VA clinics outside, it's covered. Community care is covered if you qualify for it. Also, special monthly compensation is protected. You still will continue to get that because that deals with finances. That money has already been allotted in the budget. VA home loan guarantees. Now, understand the home loan itself is guaranteed, is protected, so you can qualify. The ways you can contact people dealing with these different benefits, contacting the VA. Now, that may be limited depending on, I'm not saying necessarily for this benefit, depending on what you're doing. Now, look, but the VA notes, they say they check 2 forms of ID. Ain't that something? That's hypocritical. Just last name and last four. So what is the purpose of having a card if they're not going to use it? And I want to do Congress know they don't use it. And all they have to do is swipe the card. It would have everything they need. I think they like agitating the veteran. Now, VA dependent benefits. How will the government shutdown affect VA dependent benefits? Well, if you are 100% permanent total, either through TDIU or 100% permanent total, and your dependents qualify for Dependents Educational Assistance Program, they are covered and protected because the money has been allotted for them in the budget. Okay? Now, what about new dependents and retroactive pay? That's what we got to figure out. I'm working on that. Now, Champ VA Healthcare will continue as usual. That is protected for your dependents. All right. Let's talk about it. So that's you have to be 100% permanent total or TDIU, as you see on the slide. For dependents. Dependency indemnity compensation or DIC death benefits, monthly payment, 100 at this time of this video, $1,653.07 is protected. They've already budgeted money for these different benefits. And we're going to talk about it. Let's continue. Now, listen to what Betty Bob said. H-Town, you notice they removed the machine for the cards. You can check in on your phone. However, it works, make 50, what's that, 50 of the time? 50% of the time, okay. Wow, so now you can do it on the phone. Now, listen to what Jay Oliver said. Does Champ VA continue after the veteran's death? For the dependents, it does. And even, I'm going to even tell you about this, and I'm glad y'all can ask questions related to what we're talking about. Now, Champ VA Healthcare for the dependents of veterans that have a 100% permanent rating, 100% permanent total rating, or TDIU permanent total rating, they qualify for it. If you go on the lam, are you listening to me? Let's say you are, we say that's used to be an old saying, if you're a fugitive of law, that your dependents can still get their benefits. Even though they look for you, they're gonna freeze your check, but they should be able to still get their benefits. If they don't, they need to call in and petition, say, hey, I have nothing to do. This benefit is for me. I have nothing to do with them, being a fugitive of law. So yes, it continues after death, or even if they're on the lam, but they may freeze accounts. So you got to stay on top of the VA about that, dependents at least. Great question. Educational programs will somewhat continue. The way you can communicate with the VA about those programs, we're going to get into detail about it, may be limited, but we're going to talk about, and there may be some other limitations, but we're going to talk about it. Same thing for veterans readiness and employment. Pretty much you will be covered, but there will be limitations, and we're going to talk about that. State benefits are really not affected unless the state benefits for veterans are connected to the federal government funding them. Okay. Now listen, H-Town, you plan to bug out. Bug out when? What bug out when? What did I do? Tell me what I say. Nah, I ain't planning on bug. I ain't gonna become no fugitive of law. Nah, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I gotta remember what I say, boy. So state benefits will continue as usual. Okay? Because they're funded, or they're not necessarily funded, because the state benefits are not necessarily based on money. They're based on incentive programs where you don't have to pay for things. You get me? The state programs, they're not actually giving you money. They're exempting you from paying for things. So that's different. Now, here we go. Now we're going to get into detail. This is their exact words from the VA, what you see in red. So it's protected. Now we'll kind of summarize it, and we're going to keep overlapping and summarizing. So primary health care, your health care, the VA is protected. Your primary health care is protected. including the VA medical centers, which is the VA hospitals, outpatient clinics that the VA offer, and veterans vet centers will be open as usual and provide all services. They're not going to limit your appointments. Have they been dropping you from a lot of appointments? Let us know. Now, also, like we were saying, the VA compensation, VA benefits will continue to be processed and delivered, including compensation, pension, education, and housing benefits. Here's the thing. What about somebody just getting their claim done? I know they're going to get their check every month, but what happens to the back pay? And we're trying to figure that out. Now, what about burial benefits? Well, when it comes to burial benefits, burials will continue. Now, listen to what they say. Burials will continue at the VA national cemeteries. Applications for headstones. Now, listen to what they say. They slick with their words. Applications for headstones, markers, and burial benefits processing will continue. The application will continue, but getting the actual marker or headstone may be delayed. Did you hear what H-Town said? You need to listen to that slick language that the VA is putting out there. That's why Brother Charleston said last time, lie. When he heard me talking about this during the veteran news, he said, that's a lie. Because they saying the application will be processed. Just like they say, oh, they're processing a whole bunch of claims right now. Yeah, but that don't mean they're properly processing them. Oh, we broke a record on how many we processed. So now they still processing burial claims, right? For veterans who passed away, for their family members to bury them. But that don't mean you're gonna get the headstone until after. They got a freeze on that, and we're gonna talk about it. I hope I explained that good. Now, the Court of Appeals, the Board of Veterans Appeals, will continue decisions on veteran cases. Well, the thing is, they so slow anyway. That's not nothing. You know, they can be pretty much slow anyway. It's a lot of people do high level reviewer to speed up the process if they can. Now, another thing, this is the key. You're going to see this. I want y'all to follow me here. When it comes to contacting the VA about these different benefits or getting help or information that you need, call centers, VA primary call centers, the 1-800 number, and the Veterans Crisis Line, dial 988, press 1, will remain open 24/7. Now listen, that's dealing with the most critical things about your benefits, and if you have some type of mental health crisis and you need to talk to somebody. But they want you to call 911 if it's something that's immediate. And that's 24/7 hotline. Now, there's the number to the left if anybody's having issues. Like we said, this is not the platform to deal with your issues. We're not set up for that, but we are concerned. We want to know that you're all right. Here's the crisis 988 to the left. So another thing, suicide prevention programs, homeless services, and caregiver support will continue. It's good to know that. Now let's see what our brother talking about. Brother Charleston. Haste, make waste. Look at Philadelphia Regional VAB Office, Veteran Benefits Administration Office. How many veterans got shoved out of queue? This is what I'm talking about. So they're saying that it's moving fast. Yeah, but is it moving fast properly? Are they doing the right job or efficient job in processing these claims? Or are they just processing them? Now we talked about what is protected and what's not impacted, what benefits. Now we're going to talk about the services to veterans impacted negatively in a negative fashion. So let's talk about it. That's our second thing here. Now understand. Now we talked about the crisis hotline. We talked about the homeless services not impacted. However, when it comes to the call centers now, VAGI bill, the 1-800 number for that, and National Cemetery Application Assistance hotlines will be closed. Not saying that you can't process your claim, but assistance doing so won't be there over the phone, the hotlines. What about social media? We'll get to that. So you better, that's why I come here to H-Town Vet, watch our videos on how to do this thing. And you'll learn about it a lot, because our videos will always be up. We're not like the VA, we ain't sometiming. Now, VA benefits regional offices will be closed. Huh? I'm not saying they're not going to be working. We're going to get into that. But the regional offices are closed now. Okay? Have anybody found any of them to be open, went up and seen them open? Let me know. Now, here we go. And to confirm, put a yes or no in the chat. Is the government still shut down? Because things could have changed while H-Town was developing this video. Let us know. Now, what about public affairs, public relations, when I'm going out and put out information, brochures, the social media about the VA to help veterans? Public affairs and outreach to veterans will cease, including social media, vet resource emails, and responses to press inquiries. Yes, shut tight down. It's all the way down. Yes, indeed. I was just confirming. That's another thing that's going to be restricted. So sometimes I would get emails from the VA about all this and about this information. That's gone. Now, here we go. See, remember, we don't want you to be confused. They will be burying a veteran, but that marker or that tombstone or that headstone, it may not come. All right? Yes, less traffic on the highway. I hear you. Now, so, because you don't live but so far from there, Brother Charleston, and Betty Bops lives. Oh, that's Betty Bops said that. Yeah, that's right. She in that DMV area. So here's the thing, which I don't think is cool, but it say no ground maintenance, meaning they're not going to be cutting the yard, hedging it, making the flowers straight. No ground maintenance or placement of permanent headstones at VA cemetery. Remember, you can apply for the headstone, but they're not going to put it on there until after the shutdown, and I don't know how long afterward. Headstone at the VA cemeteries. Applications for pre-need burial at VA cemetery will not be processed. Now, pre-need, I don't know exactly what that is, but they won't be processed. No printing of new presidential memorial certificates. And that's an example of one there. I never heard of them. Who ever heard of the presidential memorial certificate? If you have, put PMC in the chat. Presidential memorial certificate. If you've ever heard of it. I had never heard of it. And that's the little plaque to the side. If you've heard of it, let us know. Let us continue. So our brother Jay Oliver's heard of it. Our brother presidential memorial certificate. You've heard of it. Now, Charleston say, what is it about, brother Jay Oliver, if you know? What is that, to the family, or a letter to the family? Let us know how that works. Charleston said, I bet November 11th will be a sorry state. What's going on November 11th? And let me ask you this here. When is Veterans Day? Is that next month? November the 10th? Or is it November 11th? Now, listen, another thing, I want you to listen. What about military active duty members getting out of the military? They're looking for a new career, a new job, a bright future. What should they do? Now, Rose City D says, good evening, H-Town vet, and salute the chat. Everybody show love to Rose City D. Thank you, brother, for joining us. You're welcome. Okay, November 11th is Veterans Day. Y'all see how bad my memory is. H-Town put out all this information. My memory with the quarter. Now, let us continue dealing with people transitioning out of the military. Now, listen. VA will cease providing transitional program assistance and career counseling for those that are transitioning off active duty. All right, when they're trying to find a new career. So that's kind of unfortunate because people usually can't wait for that type of benefit, right? You're going to notice a lot of things that deal with outreach, they're freezing. Now, here's the thing. Remember I said state or local benefits won't be affected unless the VA is sending money to fund them. Like veteran court, the VA does stuff to help veteran court, like send funds and different information to help work with local municipalities to help that, but they may not be doing it right now because they're not doing outreach. Now, governors give them out for American Legion posts also. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you. Now, so no outreach programs to state, county. This is from the federal government, from the VA. No outreach program to state, county, tribal, municipal, faith-based, and community-based partners by VA central office. They're not going to be supporting it. No outreach. Not until this shutdown is over. And for those who are coming into the room, welcome. Now, number 3, we're going to go and get into Social Security benefits. If you think they're going to be affected, put Y or yes in the chat. If you think that your Social Security disability is not going to be affected, put N or no in the chat. N or Y for yes. Let us know what you think. What do you think about that? Some of you may already know. Let us know. Now, inform us. Let the crowd know. Social Security benefits, will they be affected? Charleston says no. Jay Oliver says no. Rose City D says no. And if you don't know, you can guess, give your opinion, what you think. Let us know what you feel about it. Now, while you can continue to answer the question, we have 11 likes and 9 watching. Thank y'all, family. Betty Bob say no. she multitasking. She's keeping track and she's doing that. Thank you. And she's answering the question. Now, anybody told you that Social Security benefits will be cut at that time? No, that's not true. So H-Town, how you know? How you know, H-Town? Because I got the direct quote off the Social Security website, Social Security Administration's website. Quote, this is what they say. We want you to know that during the federal government shutdown, payments to all people who currently receive Social Security benefits and Supplemental Security Income, SSI, will continue with no change in payment date. Your clients will still receive their payments on time. All right, that's the message they got to them. Hopefully that answers the question. Number 4, the VA contingency plan. All right. All right. Let's see what the VA contingency plan is. This is one of them. I kind of renamed it here. So what is the VA going to do? I can't tell you, but I had to put that up there. Now, how is this going to, what are they doing? Well, contingency plan meaning plan B didn't work. I mean, plan A didn't work, and maybe plan B didn't work. Right now we're at plan B. But if this continues, they may change it up and start affecting more benefits. So what's their contingency plan right now? We're going to get it straight from the VA. The VAB, Veteran Benefits, the VBA. Listen what the Department of Veteran Affairs said. Veteran Affairs says, the VA contingency plan, this is off their site. The Department of Veteran Affairs, VA, estimates 97%, and this is dealing with the VA, we're dealing with the employees working. Now we're on the employment part of it. All right, number 4, the contingency plan deals with the federal employees. We're going to talk about the VA employees first. Let me requote it. The VA contingency plan. The Department of Veteran Affairs, VA, estimates 97% of VA employees continue to work during the shutdown. Now check this out, how slick that is. That sounds good, don't it? But we know they got a lot of people that work for the VA. So that could still be, that 3% can be a large number. Or is that really true? We're going to find out tonight. You understand what the actual number is? Straight out of the horse's mouth. Uh-oh, who's the horse? Now, according to the VA Human Capital Contingency Plan, that's what it is. VA is committed to providing quality, consistent care and services to veterans, family, caregivers, and survivors. And then they go into that. They say the VA mission allows no exception to this standard, blah, 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 even when operations are limited by the absence of appropriation, commonly known as a government shutdown. It's dealing with them dollars, getting that funding. Now, let's deal with other federal. We talk about the VA employees, and we're going to go into more detail about that. Now, other federal employees, how would they be affected? Or even some VA employees. We're going to talk about that, but we're talking about federal employees in general. This is a picture of a federal building representing those federal employees. Where could they go to work? Now, listen. Government shutdown and federal workers. Essential employees continue to work during the shutdown. So if you're considered an essential, if an individual is considered an essential employee, they will continue to work and get paid. Non-essential employees are put on unpaid furlough during shutdown. Did you hear me? Furlough. And we've all furloughed employees. What happens with them? For those that are put on unpaid leave. All right. Let's see what happens to them. Not working and are not receiving pay can apply for unemployment insurance in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Anybody in here that's in DC, Maryland, or Virginia, let us know. Let us know. If you're in that DMV area, put DMV in the chat. Now, various credit unions offer interest-free loans to impact federal employees. Now, listen to what she said. We miss you too. Farm Girl is in the house, family. If you're in the DMV area, put DMV in the chat. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia. These are the areas because they're close to, a lot of people that work for the VA. Farm Girl Rebel says, evening everyone, miss y'all, and everybody showing love. So Betty Bops is in the DMV area. Anybody in here in the DMV area right now, these are the areas that are affected. Y'all might have family members that are affected. And everybody saying hi to Farm Girl. Now listen. Now I need y'all to tell me if y'all knew this. I didn't until I researched for this live stream. Various credit unions offer interest-free loans to impacted federal employees. Did you know that? I kind of remember something about getting assistance before. Navy Federal Credit Union does this. If you are a member of Navy Federal Credit Union or USA, put them in the chat if you don't mind saying. Just put, you can put that, I guess, in US or US. Let us know. I'm with both. I've been with USA since the mid 90s. I got with Navy Federal Credit Union back in the 2010s. Now she's saying, Farm Girl saying hi to everybody, and everybody saying hi. Who y'all with? All right. Where them fans at? Rose City D say USA. H-Town with Navy Federal Credit Union and USA. Betty Bob says Navy Federal Credit Union and USA. And some people may be with Army Navy. Who ever heard of Army Navy Bank? If you with any other banks that kind of use military terminology, Chartway Credit Union, let us know. I don't know if they're still in existence. Now, various, so example, we said Navy Federal Credit Union, they're offering these loans to federal employees that can't work. USAA, Fed Choice. Who ever heard of Fed Choice? Put Fed Choice in the chat. Congressional Federal Credit Union. Put CFCU for Congressional Federal Credit Union. And just put Fed Choice if you ever heard of either one of those. So for the Congressional Federal Credit Union, put that in the chat. And just put Fed Choice if you've heard of Fed Choice. Some of you may have been federal. I told you we're going to break it down tonight. So you being employed or unemployed is going to be based on whether you are an essential employee or non-essential employee. I don't think you lose your job, you just furloughed. But you can apply for unemployment insurance, and I suggest you do so. That's for non-essential employees. Betty Boss has heard of Fed Choice. Okay. Now, what about them bills, them utilities? Utility resources are available during the shutdown for federal employees. There are several assistance programs. I only kind of covered two. One is the flex payment arrangement, okay, for your utilities. And it's usually with the, it ain't going to include internet. It's going to include, for the most part, gas, water, I believe. Maybe electric, I forget. But I know gas and water is covered. Those are the two basics. Then there's a waiver of late fee charges. That's rough that federal workers have to go through that. Uh-oh. How does it affect the military? Put in there, do you think that the military gonna get paid during the shutdown? That the people that's on active duty military, do you think, put a $sign in the chat if you think they're gonna get paid. And if not, put no or something that show prohibit money. Put no money in there if you think they're not gonna get paid. Put a $sign if you think they're gonna get paid during the shutdown. Come on, let us know, fam. I need them. This is interesting. What effects does a shutdown have on active duty military? Oh, y'all putting y'all answers. I'm loving. Thank you for the participation. This is going to be incredible for those that are watching live and recorded. Farm Girl Rebel says yes, they're going to get paid. Farm Girl $sign. Oh, she put $sign. Okay. J. Oliver say they're going to get paid. Betty Bob said they're going to get paid. Uh-oh. My brother's explaining. He said, unbelievable. None of this was available during the 70s, 80s government shutdown. Now, we say none of it, like what? Oh, these assistance programs. Wow. Now, Farm Girl Rebel said, yes, that's unfortunate, brother. What kind of special idiot would not pay people who have access to all that hardware? You asked that question. Wow. Now, we're going to leave that question up. I guess it's a special kind of idiot because they're not paying them, but they expect them to do their duties. I will repeat again, active duty military members will not be getting paid during the shutdown. So it must be a very special kind of idiot. Unfortunate. Are you shocked by this? Hold on. If you are shocked by this, put wow in the chat. If you are shocked that they're not going to get paid, that active duty military, tell us how you feel about it too. I need to know how you feel about it. Who put wow in the chat? If you're not surprised, just put not surprised in the chat. But if you are surprised, put wow in the chat. This is why the H-Town vet want to bring it to you like nobody else can. People giving you bits and pieces of this thing. I'm gonna give you the whole shebang, huh? Farm Girl Rebel says, wow. Jay Oliver say, wow. If you are surprised that active duty members are not going to get paid, put wow in the chat. If you're not, just say not surprised or just not. Now listen to what our sisters say. That's our Congress for you. They are special idiots indeed. And you're going to get kind of better about say not surprised. You're gonna be, they still paying some federal contractors though, not military. So they'll pay some of federal contractors and other people, but they won't pay our military who risk their life and sacrifice their time, you know, because we did it all here. Fam, not gonna get paid. I'm not trying to trigger you tonight. The active duty members of the military will not get paid during the shutdown, but they're expected, what it said, they're expected to complete their full duties. What if they have children? What if they have a spouse that's dependent on these funds? Family, I'm not trying to upset you, but I got to ask you a question now. Come on now. Let's talk turkey up in here. How would a young soldier take care of their family if they're already struggling? Many of them on food stamps. Are they going to cut the food stamps out too? Yeah, because a lot of active duty, especially young active duty members on food stamps. So they're cutting out some of those services. Huh? So, yeah, when I was a soldier, I wasn't married, so I could do what? I could stay in the barracks. I could eat chow hall. What's going to happen to the people that have a family? Now, hold on. I'm going to make sure I ain't miss nothing. Now, listen what Farm Girl say. We need term limits for Congress. Never going to get it, but it would be nice. Now, guess what? It's going to be some blowback from this. There's going to be some blowback. And y'all going to be surprised. My brother said this. My brother Jay said this. Guess one of the biggest blowbacks going to be? Lawyers going to eat this up. They going to be coming after the president. All the stuff he doing illegally. Wait till he get out of office. I wouldn't be surprised they don't go after him. Other people, because you know what he make people do? He make them bow the knee, and he make sure they all dirtied up. So a lot of people careers messed up now. That's because he make you do all the dirt he does. Huh? And I'm not anti-Trump, you know, whatever. I'm just telling you the thing. That really sucks that they not getting paid. Active duty members are not getting paid, family. I'm not shocked. Listen what Charleston say. I'm not shocked. Let me get this, because I want you to have this full screen so we can see this. Our military men and women will not be getting paid during the shutdown, family. Brother Charleston Zimmerman says, I am not shocked. House of Representatives to extended vacation, paid active duty pay, funding has to be approved. Wow. So they get their extended vacation. Wow. On extended vacation. So hold on. House of Representatives on extended vacation right now? So how can they be on vacation? They're not worried about these soldiers not being able to feed their families or feed themselves, pay their bills, their car note. I wasn't trying to upset y'all, family. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. And I'm putting it in a comprehensive fashion. Okay? So stay, because you about to get some good information tonight, as always. Now, Farm Girl Rebel says, how many young people are going to get behind on rent? So many lives off base. Yes, so many lives live off base. So many live off base. Here's the thing. And even if you get your check, now you got a late fee, or you might breach your lease, because these things can go on for a long time. Okay? I want to ask you right now, I want you to guess, how many days was the longest, and we're going to give the answer later. What's been the longest a government shutdown has happened? All right? I'm going to put the question in the chat, family. What has been the longest government shutdown? Now that's the question. Put how many. We're gonna do it based on days. If you're close, you can if I guess you want to put month. What's been the longest government shutdown? So we had, while y'all doing that, I'm gonna go up here, and OM says he's in the house. Say that really sucks. And say everybody's saying hi to him, and he's saying hi to everybody. Jay Oliver say, I had a nephew in Europe. I got a cash app. Hold on. Jay Oliver's a disabled veteran. Now listen to this. He got a nephew that's in Europe right now. They not paying him or helping him out right now. His nephew was active duty, I'm assuming. So he has to use money he get from the federal government to help his nephew, because the federal government's not paying him. So they getting the money right back. That's cold. They not looking out for, man, this is something else. So the longest shutdown, we're gonna pull up, let's see. What has been the longest government shutdown? Let us know how long. You can put months or days. Let you put both. 60 days in 1978. No idea the longest. The last I remember was 1995. All right, let us know. Now I want to ask this, if anybody have an idea, how many government shutdowns have we had? Just with, I think it's under 10, but it may be more. How many government shutdowns have we had? I guess since 1950, we'll say. Let's just say overall, how many you know of? Family, let us know. So, hate to bring you that bad news, but we had to break it down, because nobody gonna break it down like H-Town. They're gonna give you bits and pieces. Let's continue, family. Now, who to blame? I done stirred y'all up. It's about to get messed up in here. Who to blame? Okay. First, I want to ask, who to blame? Should we blame you? Should we blame me? Because we voted these people in or didn't vote. Who you blame? Do you blame yourself? Put myself, if you blame yourself, you feel like you are partially to blame. If not, put no. If you feel like you're partially blamed, put myself. Now we're gonna get done. We're just talking about you right now, not the politicians, nobody else, just you. Do you blame yourself? Put no. If not, if you do blame yourself, put myself. Don't put, you can't put politicians. You can't put politicians. You're gonna either put your, whether you blame yourself. We're just dealing with you. We're gonna deal with the politicians in a minute. Do you blame yourself or don't blame yourself? That's all I want to know. We're just dealing with you right now. Because they want to blame you, the people. No, I don't blame myself. Jay Oliver say, no, I don't blame myself. Betty Bob say, no, I, myself, and the rest of the citizens. Okay. Because we voted some of these people in. Okay, I can live with that. We give their opinion. Now we gonna it's about to get with it. Now that you said that, family, you got 4 choices. You can pick all 4, or you can pick none. If you don't believe any of these people are to blame, put none. But if you blame the Democrats, put Democrat in the chat. You blame the Republicans, put Republicans in the chat. Who you blame the most? This is gonna be the people you blame the most. If you feel like they're equal to blame, put both of them. If you blame the President Donald Trump, put Donald Trump in the chat. If you blame the Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins, put him in the chat. I mean, can we really blame him? So let's get to it, family. It's about to get me. If you blame both of them, just put both. Democrat and put both. But if you blame Donald Trump, you got to put his name in there. If you blame Doug Collins, the Secretary of the VA, you must put his name in there. Now, this is getting interesting around here. Farm Girl Rebel say, no, I feel so many AE in there because of special interests from the top on down. Come on, talk about it. She right. OM say both sides, Republicans and Democrats. Farm Girl Rebel says both sides, Republican and Democrats. Now, if you blame the president specifically, put him in there. If you blame Doug Collins, the Secretary of the VA, specifically, put his name in there. Charleston says Doug Collins. Not surprising. Betty Bob say both the Republicans and Democrats. Jay Oliver says both the Republicans and Democrats. Family, what can I say? What can I say? So now, I like this slide. I like it. Now, let's see what we covered. Services to veterans not impacted by the government shutdown. Then we covered services. We're doing a recap. So then we covered services to veterans impacted. Yes. Then we covered the impact that it would have, that the government shutdown would have on Social Security, the impact it would have on federal workers, specifically VA employees and other federal workers in general, effects on the active duty military members. Then we covered who is to blame for the shutdown. Now, my question to you, while I'm gonna ask Brother Charleston about why this, what part of what we covered tonight were you the most surprised about that we covered? What surprised you the most on this list? That when we covered the information, what was the most surprising? Now, Brother Charleston says, ask me why, H-Town. Why you blame Doug Collins, who's a good Christian minister of the Lord, of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Boy, that sounds like the name of a Baptist church. Why would you blame him when he's not in Congress? He's not the president of the United States. Why would you blame him? How would you come out of left field? Let us know. So which one was the most surprising? Who was to blame for the shutdown? Active duty members not getting paid, federal workers, some of them that are non-essential being put on furloughs. Would it be, did you surprised that Social Security, they would still get their benefits? Were you surprised on what benefits the VA would give us or not give us as far as being veterans? Let us know. Now, did we answer the question, family? How will the government shutdown affect veterans and their VA benefits? Did we answer the question? Put yes or no in the chat. Did we answer the question? Let us know. Now, I missed most of this, but was surprised that they aren't paying active duty. Go back and watch it from the beginning, okay, sister? This is very important. Did I answer the question tonight? But y'all can keep making statements about, but I want you to put that in there too. You can still ask me questions and statements. Did we answer the question tonight? How will the government shutdown affect veterans and their VA benefits? Did we answer the question? J. Oliver says yes. Farm Girl says yes. Did we answer the question, fam? Now listen what he said. Betty Bob say, H-Town, yes, you answered the question. Thank you. That means I'm not clickbaiting. Now, cause Pastor Dougie started the talk of firing 80,000 VA employees, saying they lazy and stupid federal workers. Lie. I totally agree that that's fraudulent. But he would say that would be his opinion. But I agree with you, brother. I don't believe that they lazy like that. Now, let's see. Fam, let us continue. So somebody said yes, maybe no, we answered the question. Smash that like button if you just came in, or if this video has been informative. Please hit that like button. We appreciate it. Right now we have 11 likes and 13 watching. So smash that like button, family. We would really appreciate it because it boosts the algorithm and it recommends the channel to more people. So Charleston say, yes, we answered the question. Thank y'all. Share it with others, and that helps too. Get the message out so people, if we're doing a thorough job on presenting this information, make sure as many veterans and non-veterans know about this. And subscribe. Now, if it's somebody else that's broken down like this, let us know. Now, because I think we did a quality job. Now, VA Insider did it good with the information because he's always real good, VA Claims Insider, but he may not have talked about it. And nobody may not have talked about it in a comprehensive way like this. But he has a lot of good information over there. Because after I did mine, I went and checked. I said, yeah, he on point. Now, we're not going to go over VA law tonight, but we will go on it over in the future, but not tonight. Now, let's get to veteran news. And we're going to be covering the topics we talked about tonight. So we thank you for being here, family. And we're about to get into this thing heavy here. Now, listen to what J. Oliver says. H-Town, a surviving spouse of a PT, a permanent total vet, meaning they had to be 100% permanent total, retains all benefits besides the pay they had, just DIC. Correct? Yes. So the DIC is the substitution. So instead of getting 100% that the veteran have, they're not going to get that $4,000 or more dollars a month. They're only going to get the DIC death benefit, the Chapter 35, and other benefits like that. Don't worry about it. She said, I didn't get any VA law last Friday. Don't worry about it, sister. We good. I have some. I just hadn't went over them, but it ain't on you. It's just I didn't cover any. You gave me plenty. Now let us continue. Veteran news. Let's talk about it. Well, now we're going to do an overview. This veteran news is going to be covering the government shutdown. Now we're going to do an overview, a video showing the overview of what happened with the government shutdown. And this one is coming from the BBC, British Broadcasting Network. And this is very important. And they're asking the question. So they say, this is their statement, why the U.S. government has shut down and what happens now. Then we have another one we're going to cover. And thank y'all for joining us, family. We're doing an excellent job here. So let's get to the first one. Okay. We're going to pull that up to the stage. Oh, I got to go back first. Fair use, fair use. This is for informative and educational purposes only. You can go to the BBC's website and watch the full video. I mean, you can. That's where I got it from. Thank them for allowing that. This is for educational purposes to help veterans and federal workers learn about the things that impact them. Now, let me pull myself up just in case they try to do a commercial on me. Yeah, they did just that. Yeah.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible.
All right. We're going to get started now. Once I get started, we're going to hear the president talk about it first. So this is important. We want to talk to the people. We want to hear from the people that are in charge, right? Isn't that important? To hear from the people that are in charge, talking about these issues that are impacting Americans, especially those that work for the federal government or those of us that receive funds from the federal government. Now, before we get started on that, let me see here. Now, Charleston say, Dougie ain't a Christian. Oh, Lord. Talking down to people. Real pastors build people up. False pastor. Well, that's true. I can't deny that pastors, you have to have a pastor's heart, and a shepherd is supposed to build the people up. I totally agree. And we're gonna get into that. All right, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. So let's see. Thank you for giving yours, my brother. See, we don't have to agree with everything. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with him, but I want to know more about what statements he made that makes him, Brother Charleston, feel that way. Now, family, let us know if you can hear it. When it gets started, put the speakers in the chat or put you can hear it, okay? This is the overview from BBC, and they're gonna have the president speaking in the beginning.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible.
What will we see now there's a US government shutdown? The short answer is we don't know for sure, but we can build a picture based on previous federal shutdowns. What generally happens is that government workers who are deemed non-essential are put on temporary unpaid leave and normally paid later. This could affect services including federally funded preschools, the student loans department, programs to help low-income families get food. National parks and museums could shut.
Family, this is serious. So you have some of the programs that help the federal employees put their kids in daycare while they're working. That could be shut down. Where they gonna have their kids at? That's a double burden here. Student loans, food programs such as SNAP benefits, national parks and museums. And they try and take everything about my people. They talking about it. Slavery out of out of the parks and out of the history. But I teach my history, my family, so I don't expect nobody to teach my history. But you can't hide that right. We're gonna lie about the history. Now, how y'all feel about the programs? Were you shocked about them having things about student loans? I wanted to may have to get into more detail about this. Let's talk about it. So that is on the board there. Can you hear us? Let us know if you can hear us.
And approval of new benefit payments may stop. It's worth pointing out government services often get funding from different sources, and museums could shut.
Now listen at the slick thing. I want to know what he meant by this. Listen to what he says at the end. This reporter. Now listen what he says.
And approval of new benefit payments may stop.
What they mean, the approval of new benefit payments? Are they talking about our VA benefits? They say they still approve them, so I'm going to assume they're not talking about us. All right, I hope they're not talking about us.
It's worth pointing out government services often get funding from different sources, and so closures may be staggered. In the past, some vital services have not come to a halt and are expected to continue. Medical care in hospitals, border protection, law enforcement, and air traffic control are expected to carry on.
So let me know if y'all can hear me. Y'all not responding. Let me know if you can hear the video. Can you hear the video? Put a yes or no in the chat or something. Put speakers in there. Let us know if you can hear. Can you hear? Because I don't like getting down the road and it's not playing properly. Can you hear the video? And expected services to continue. Hospital services. Border Patrol. Talking about this is in general in the United States. Okay, you can hear. Y'all just into this here. Okay, y'all just into the video. Okay, okay. Border Patrol will continue. Now they will continue Border Patrol, but won't pay the military, the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or Space Force. Now, how does that make sense? Law enforcement, air traffic control. If you're going to do the Border Patrol, the video is low. Okay. And you're louder. Okay. Let me turn it up. I'm going to start it from the beginning. Let me see. Now tell me, we're going to start it from the beginning because it ain't but a short video. Tell me if you can hear it. I'm going to play a little bit of it and tell me if the video is loud enough now.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible.
What will we?
Tell me when you heard the president speak, was it loud? Military on the border. Wow. They not getting paid on the border, but the other workers, wow, military on the border. Tell me if you can hear it good now, because we want to make sure the video, wow, that's the military on the border, but not getting paid while they're down there. Okay, he says it's better. Okay. If it's not better, let me know. I don't know what I can do to raise the volume, but let me know. Turn up the video more. I think I got it at the loudest I can get it at. Let me see. Turn up your volume on your at your house. On your device, because that's the loudest I can get it, okay?
See, now there's a US government shutdown. The short answer is we don't know for sure, but we can build a picture based on previous federal shutdowns. What generally happens is that government workers who are deemed non-essential are put on temporary unpaid leave.
Because I can hear it quite well.
Are normally paid later. This could affect services including federally funded preschools, the Student Loans Department, programs to help low-income families get food. National parks and museums could shut, and approval of new benefit payments may stop. It's worth pointing out government services.
And unfortunately, I might sound clear, but I had that where you play a video, it'd be real low. So it depends on your device. Make sure you turn your device up too and hear it as best you can.
Services often get funding from different sources, and so closures may be staggered. In the past, some vital services have not come to a halt and are expected to continue. Medical care in hospitals, border protection, law enforcement, and air traffic control are expected to carry on.
Now, let's see what this said. She said, what you apologize? She said, just H-Town, just move closet. I apologize. Now you good. Now you all right. Because sometimes I can't hear. BBC is from Britain, long distance. Well, we're gonna break that down. Let me say something about that. They love talking about the US and what goes on here. Because they not the ones doing it over here. They'll talk about, man, they'll give people a voice from over here. Muhammad Ali, he used to talk about the racism here in the United States. They loved him over in Britain because he wasn't talking about them and their racism, but they would love him over there. So when you're not the direct person dealing with the issue, so they don't mind giving you, I think, a more objective view than the politics in the United States when it comes to the shutdown. Tell me your opinion on that. See, they gon' because many of our agencies have a political skew. Let me ask you this here. What news agency, MSNBC, Fox News, any of the news agencies out there give a balanced view of the news without skewing Democrat or Republican, without skewing conservative or liberal? Let us know. Any of them give a fair and balanced in your opinion. Let us know. Any news agency. But they are away from us. See, the BBC going to report it the way it is most of the time. Their bias is going to be in their own country. They ain't going to talk about the dirt they do there. But they've been mad at us since the American Revolution. So they like saying, look at them Americans over there. We going to tell it all. But I like a fair, objective reporting, regardless of the motives. But I ain't saying they have ill motives, ill intent or nothing. It's the fact that they can be objective because they don't live here. All right. Now you are 100% right on that. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now let us continue. None in U.S. is balanced. So none of the news is balanced. Do y'all know any news in the United States we get this balance? I listen to BBC because they tend to let people speak their mind without doctoring it and stuff, at least when it comes to news here. Let's continue.
With employees being paid later, active duty military members generally keep on working. And social...
Now you hear what he said. He said active duty members keep on working. Now that's slick what he said there. They keep working, but they don't keep getting paid. Services expect to continue. He didn't say whether they're going to get paid or not. Did you hear what he said? H-Town ain't making this stuff up. He didn't say that active duty military will continue to get paid. Listen to this again. Play that beautiful beam footage.
And air traffic control are expected to carry on, with employees being paid later. Active duty military members generally keep on working.
Now, what that got to do with them generally keep on working? What that got to do with them getting paid? And at least he being honest, but he leaving out details. And he just putting. I'm glad he's not lying. I'm mad about what he putting out, but I just want y'all to understand. In the United States, they might just bold-faced lie on the news, because the media is not about informing you. It's about mind control and controlling your perspective on things. So if they put out information, it's going to be a whole bunch of personal commentary. It's going to be a whole political commentary before you get to any stuff. Now, BB is very critical of the U.S. policy, but Al Jazeera is more uncensored. Yeah, they very uncensored over there. They'll put out some clear stuff. Now, mother used to love BBC News. Somebody hooked me on it back in the early 2000s. I like it too.
And Social Security and disability payments would still be sent out. ICE operations are likely to be deemed essential by the president, given.
So my confused, you heard what he just said, and I'm gonna play that again. I want you to hear me. Now listen to what this said. Brother says, this is Brother Charleston, active duty, U.S. active duty should have a union that would fix Congress outright. Yes, indeed. But listen what they funding. They fund. I got no problem with them having ICE, but if you're gonna be regulating what's going on inside the country, how about paying? If you're gonna pay the ICE agents that's doing what you want to do, why can't you pay the active duty military who's protecting the whole country? Listen to this.
Keep on working, and Social Security and disability payments would still be sent out. ICE operations are likely to be deemed essential by the president, given his crackdown on illegal immigration.
So how is that essential? And I'm not beating up on the president, but how is ICE removing illegal immigrants, and I believe in following the law, how is that more essential than paying the active duty members of the military? Ooh, let me go hide after I said that. I'm asking questions, that's all.
A big priority in his second term. The Trump administration, initially with Elon Musk at the forefront, has spent the last 9 months drastically cutting parts of the national government. And the White House has suggested it could use this shutdown to cut many more jobs permanently. So how often do government shutdowns happen? There have been quite a few over the past 50 years. Most were only a matter of days.
Now, this is what we were talking about, fam. Now, so there have been government shutdowns in the past. They had one, they didn't cover the one that you had, Brother Charleston, the one you said in, hold on, okay. Let me see if I can see this better. Give me a second. It's cutting the line through it. I think they had one in 1981, 1982, but they're not showing the one from 78 that you talked about. So they didn't go so far back. Now, since the 1980, yeah. So they had one and wow, they had two in 2018. Did y'all know that? Yeah, they started it. I'm sorry, they started in 1980, 2 years. Really left out in 1978, and you were impacted by that. They almost acting like it don't matter, but this is Congressional Research Services. So blame the U.S. government, U.S. Congressional Research Department. So look at the ones that they've had. Okay. I want to make it where I can see it better. Now, so the U.S. government shutdowns since 1980. Unfortunately, they don't have Brother Charleston 1978. He could give personal testimonial, and we're going to ask you about that too. We get a chance. During duration of each funding gaps in days. Look. So which one was the longest that they've had? 35 days, a little over a month. That was in December 2018. Now in December 1995, they was out for 21 days. September 2013, 16 days. Wow. What's the most common month for them to do? Look like December comes up a lot, but they also have October in here a few times. Which month do you see that had the most shutdowns? Which month? Put in there If you want October, just abbreviate October. Let us know. If you say December, September, let us know which one you had the most. Which one had the most shutdowns throughout the years? Now, Charles said, "I guess my era don't matter." They should have went all the way back. You know, yes, it matters. It was in current times, but they didn't put it on here. Unfortunately, bro. The research that they got, BBC can only report what the government put out. Charles to say, I guess my hair don't matter. Okay, I read that. I think this one will last 2 weeks or longer, I hope. So that's a good question. How long do you think the shutdown is going to last, family? Great question, brother. Great question. Great statement. That turned into a question. How long will the shutdown last? Put in the chat how long you think. I'm going to say 2 weeks. And we're going to see who's right. Now, listen to what Charles say. Wait until 90 days hit. Then things will hit the fan. Oh, boy. Jay Oliver say October when the budget is submitted. Okay, so it's a lot of Octobers there. I see 2, 3 Octobers. I see a lot of Decembers. 1 December, 2 Decembers, 3 Decembers. See some Novembers in there. Wow. How long will this last, family? I say 2 weeks. H-Town say, Jay Oliver says 4 weeks. So that's a month. I say half of a month, 2 weeks. Betty Bob says 45 days, which is what? About a month and a half. Then Jay Oliver say 4 weeks. Van Olive says 30 days. Jay Oliver says, saying hi to October seems to be the one the most. See a lot of Octobers in there. Y'all right. It's a lot of Octobers. Now, family, let us continue. Thank y'all for your patience. We got about another minute or so on the video.
Although in 1995, under President Clinton, it went on for 21 days. In 2013, under President Obama, 16 days. And in December 2018, in Trump's first term, the longest shutdown so far began, lasting 35 days. So how long could this shutdown last? We simply don't know. The Republicans and Democrats seem miles apart, and the disagreements are increasingly bitter.
All Americans are going to feel some impact because whether they realize it or not, there's certain government services and government activities that are affecting your day-to-day lives.
The last shutdown ended after long lines at airports caused by air traffic controllers and security staff calling in sick became a symbol of a country paralyzed. A similar impact this time will increase pressure to do a deal.
Okay, so let's see what y'all got to say about it. Family, thank y'all for being patient watching that video. Now, oh boy, this next video is gonna be our last video for the night. But if you're triggered easy, I suggest you leave now because we're gonna watch the video. Betty Bob said we have 12 likes and 12 watching. Thank you for being here, fam. Then we have Brother Charleston say, Christmas and no money. That's rough. That's real talk though, Brother Charleston. That's real talk. Real talk, brother. Okay, let me share and let me get the next video. Now this one here, we're gonna get to in a second. Now, fam, the next thing we want to talk about, the next video, we're going to focus specifically on the veterans, not on the general overview of how it's affecting and impacting the country. Hopefully we did a good job in explaining that. Now we're going to talk about how this shutdown specifically affects veterans and VA employees. Okay? Now, warning, government shutdown, Department of Veteran Affairs. How is this going to affect veterans and VA employees? Now we got our brother in here. We have the great Dogface Soldier says, hello, veterans and H-Town, my brother. Wanted to stop by and check in. And the government shutdown will maybe last 12 months, just like deployment. Whoo! I hope not. Family, 12 months. How people gonna be able to pay these bills? And the longer it go, they might have to change our funding as veterans. Remember, contingency plan is a contingency plan. That don't mean it's long term. They could change it. They say it may change. Well, we wasn't affecting y'all benefits, but because it went on so long, we might have to get into them VA benefits and stop paying your VA check. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what a contingency plan is. Look, I avoided no pun intended. He say, evening, Dogface Soldier, you trumped me. No pun intended. Oh, Lord. They talk, everybody showing love to our brother Dogface Soldier. Now, family, let's get on back to it. All right. Make sure I got it here. So we're talking about how it affects veterans and the Department of Veteran Affairs. And you can't talk about that without talking about Dougie. He's saying love, the LOL love. Family, Brother Charleston, our leader. Look at our leader of the VA. And you know he got to have some good stuff to say. So for those that we about to do Dougie Talks, how was his opinion on the government shutdown, how it affect veterans, what his position is on everything, okay? Fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Now, as you can see, our Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins, is smiling and grinning, so you know it's going to be good on our end, right? This minister would not be smiling unless he got some good things to say in helping us veterans. Now, we're going to go over the statements that he make, and you're going to put true or false what you think if you believe what he's saying, okay? Now, here we go, family. If you can hear, first of all, just go ahead and if the sound is too loud, I turn it all the way up. Turn your volume down on your phone or whatever, or on your device of television. Now, let's get to it. What is Doug Collins? So, Secretary Doug Collins on government shutdown and impact on veteran services. Let's talk about it. This is critical, right? This is with C-SPAN, family. Come on, let's talk about it.
And want to head now.
Oh, hold on. That's what I did. Hold on. That's what I meant. I was supposed to show. Oh, Lord. That was not now. Now, listen what he say. Dougie got a collection plate to fall back on. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. I mean, not hear me. If you can hear the video. Let's go. Put the speakers.
To the Department of Veterans Affairs. We're joined by the Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins. Secretary Collins, good morning to you, sir. Thanks for the time. Can you just tell us what's happening at the VA this morning under a shutdown? There's a whole lot of people who work at the VA. How many are furloughed, and what is and isn't happening for veterans today?
Now, so I can hear it. Okay, you can hear it clear. I hear it good. Okay, Betty Box can hear it. Now listen. First, I read to y'all earlier that they said in the contingency plan only 3%. Now listen, only 3% of VA employees are affected by the shutdown or put on furlough, where they're not getting paid and they may have to file for unemployment. Why I told you, watch that trick bag language. 3% of a large number can be a lot of people. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case. So 3%, they say. Now let's see what he says. Now let me go back a little bit and hear the question he asked him again. And listen, we gonna check, y'all. We're gonna talk about everything he says. It's a 6
There's
minute
a whole
video.
lot of people who work at the VA. How many are furloughed, and what is and isn't happening for veterans today?
So how many are furloughed, meaning how many will not be getting paid and they're not at work and not getting paid for being at work? While they're unemployed. All right, listen.
Well, there's good news and bad news, John. I think from our perspective, the funding for the VA for our hospitals, our benefits and disabilities are all continuing to function. We're on a multi-year appropriation. So if
Okay, he said all the benefits. I know the compensation, but all the benefits fully functioning. So he's saying benefits are all of them fully functioning based on what we covered tonight. That's either true or not. He said that all the benefits for veterans are fully functional. We went over it. Are all of them fully functioning? Yes or no? What's your opinion? He said all the benefits are fully functioning. Are the cemetery benefits fully functioning? So for those of you, let me give y'all a chance to say, are they fully functioning, fam? No. Betty Bops is right because you can't get a headstone. So how can they be fully functioning if you can't get a headstone? Yeah, you can request a headstone. You can request certain things, but you can't get it during the what's called. Now all your healthcare needs will supposedly be met, right? Now let us continue. No, he's a liar and stealing money from the U.S. vets. So we're gonna start saying lie or truth. Everybody's opinion. Is that statement he made, in your opinion, a lie or truth? You can either put lie or true. That's how we'll do it. That's how we'll do it. Is that a lie or a true statement? And you're entitled to your opinion or your, how you want to do it. Hot pants. Let's go.
If you're a veteran out there and you have especially medical needs, or you need to get to our hospital or clinics, they're open, they're running.
Well, now are the hospitals open and running? He said if you need to get to a VA hospital, they are open and running. Is that okay? Let me put it so that lie the first one. I'm gonna put a hospital. Let me put the second one in. Let me get. I don't say nothing on the second one yet. I'm gonna have to put in a media thing. Let's see, a banner. Okay. Now he's saying the VA hospitals are up and running. Is that a true statement, family? Now, okay. That's what I want to know. Hold on, let me get the banner. And I got to put that. I hate that. VA. Are the VA hospitals up and running? Let us know. Are the VA hospitals, so now put true or lie. Are the VA hospitals up and running? So the first one we said the lie detector determined that was a lie because the building fits are not fully active because they're restricting tombstones for right now, headstones. So he say, OMG say OM says they are open in Miami. They're open. Okay. Rose City D say open in Richmond, Virginia. Are the VA hospitals up and running? Then Charles say half true. Open but hard to get appointments. Real talk. They canceled at least 2 of my appointments since the shutdown. At least one. Jay Oliver say true. OM say true. And Betty Bob say true. Now he didn't say that you could properly get your appointments yet. So we're gonna fact check them, okay? All right. So has the government hold on. I don't know why that's up there. VA hospital up and running. So we said that's generally true. Now listen what it says. Brother Dogface Soul say we get pennies while Dougie drives a Porsche and lives in a mansion with 100 acres of land, smoking a Cuban cigar. Hold on, bro. This is a pastor. This is a man of God living in a mansion, a Porsche. He puts the Lord first, and especially not smoking no cigar. A Christian preacher, that would, that's kind of not cool. Come on, are you just kind of just saying it? He will never answer the question, where is all that money going? JJ, where did you get all that cash? Open but changing my appointment. Yes, same thing here. I have a CMP coming up this week. So far hasn't canceled. Okay, thank God. What is that concerning, sister? But we're going to talk about it. Now, let's keep it going.
Where it's going to be affecting us, especially in the short run, is our regional offices for disability claims. New claims are getting questions answered are going to be closed.
Now, is that true or false, what he said? Now, look in the chat. I'm going to put it in there. Sorry about that. I wish. Now, the next one I'm putting there. He said the VA regional offices will be closed. Is that true or false? Is he making a true statement? Will the VA regional offices be closed? True or false, fam? Let us know. Come on now. He said the VA regional offices will be closed. Is that true or false? We going over the statements that he's making, okay? But is it true or false? He said that they will be closed. Is that true or false? Say white dudes speak with forked mouth. Oh, Lord. True. Okay, he said VA regional offices will be closed. Betty Bob says true. He said VA regional offices will be closed. Is that true or false, family? I got a feeling that y'all biased. Y'all don't want to say that the pastor telling the truth. Now, the other statement might have been an error. He probably didn't know. But he got a lot of truths. Only he knows the answer. Oh, him ain't giving him the credit. Lie. No public access. They will be doing claim work. They will be doing claim work. They're not closed. Oh, trick bag. You picked up on that, Jay Oliver. I thought about that, but I didn't think of it as being a lie. Family, listen. Come on now. I want you to hear this. Will the VA regional office be closed? No, they'll be closed to veterans. Real good one, brother. So is this false? Will the VA regional offices be closed? That's false. That's a lie. Wow, this is crazy. True, I wouldn't be surprised that they closed down all the VA regional offices. Do you think they're gonna still be doing work though? That's what I'm confused. Now they might not be doing no work. I don't know. True agreed with Jay Oliver. Okay. This is getting interesting. So you saying the problem is like what Brother Charleston say, you can't get no direct answer from the pastor, but he's a politician right now. Family, this thing is getting confusing. Let's see what else he got to say. Let's see what else he got to say. Oh, this is getting heavy, family. This is getting heavy. Now let's see what other statements he's saying.
Our counseling, our BR&E issues for people get their voc rehab, how they get into new careers, those are going to be limited. Our outreach is
So they are going to be limited because we talked about it. When we talked about it, so on that one, he's telling the truth. There's going to be limit. That don't mean they're going to stop the voc rehab in Chapter 35 altogether or GI Bill stuff, but they are going to be limited. So this one I got to give him true, but it's not a direct answer. He ain't being detailed, so he's kind of, not being clear about it. Our sister says 13 likes and 11 watching. Now, Jay Oliver, right. They are essential workers. The essential workers will be at the VA. The only ones won't be there is the unessential workers. So that makes sense. Hopefully that's the case. Now, listen to what he says. Dougie, a man with many hats, serves many masters. Hold on. The only master he's supposed to have is the Lord. Now, here we go.
Going to be limited. As it goes further, there could be other things shut down, especially when it comes to getting questions on GI Bill, loan guarantees, those kind of things. But right now, we're sitting here watching a very sad situation in which our veterans across the country, not just at the VA, but are going to be affected this. Many who work in the federal government, many who are affiliated with businesses who do business with the federal government. So I think that's the bigger issue we have with our veterans right now.
So now he's concerned about VA employees when he the one that got rid of a lot of them or plan to get rid of more, but he concerned about them and their job. Is that a contradiction? Put the word contradiction in the chat. If you feel like 1 minute he's talking about getting rid of tens of thousands of VA employees, on the other hand, he's talking about he's trying to help them keep their job. This is going to be hard on them. In the words of Brother Charles, he speak with forked tongue. Now let us continue.
The New York Times on their chart about who's working and who's not. The VA, the largest agency outside of the DoD, some 450.
Let me put that full screen. Give me a second here. Now, fam, look at this here. When it comes to transportation, it's talking about. Let me go back over the number. See what his statement was.
New York Times on their chart about who's working and who's not. The VA, the the largest agency outside of the DoD, some 450 or 60,000 employees. They have at about 15,000 employees being furloughed. Does that sound about
15,000? They said 3%. Did you know that 3% was 15,000, or does that equal 15,000? I'm confused. 15,000? Are you kidding me? Are not getting paid? That they can't pay their bills? Why they're not working? Department of Transportation is 12,000. The VA is 15,000. My Lord, the Department of Justice is 12, almost 13,000. Office of Personnel Management, 210. And wow. So the number to the left, closer to the word transportation, is the number that worked there. How many being furloughed is to the other side? Well, you know, we got to be honest. There's much more people work for the Department of Veteran Affairs that seem like they work for any of them, so they're going to be more not working because of the percentage. And that's supposed to be that 3%, huh? That 3% is 15,000 people. How y'all feel about that? 3%, that ain't that many VA employees. Heck, they almost got 500,000 VA employees. Talk about it. Now, let's see. Now, listen to Brother Dogface Soldier said, Pastor Dougie reminds me of a pharmacy. Here's a viper, a wolf in sheep clothing. Wow. Y'all ain't playing with these people tonight. Y'all speaking your mind, which you should. Not Betty Bob's, Farm Girl Rebel say, thanks, Betty Bob's. Just got bumped up to 80% and now have this last CMP. Come on now. Everybody show congratulations. Gary Walker says, double speak can never be wrong. Now, they're saying hi to Gary. Everybody showing love to Gary. And Gary say, that's Jay H-Town and the whole H-Town crew. Yes, indeed. They saying, thanks. Let's see. Family, y'all are really getting into this tonight. Now, Charleston says, so veterans thrown under the bus onto bad roads also. Exactly. I agree with that. Now, Brother Gary says, doom, gloom, sir, a great example of why I don't watch the news. Yes, indeed. We just reporting it, and we saw that it's like this. We apologize, but we're reporting the news. Hey, Gary, Dogface, biblical insults. Okay, now, look. Even though the VA has the second highest of people that were furloughed, now, what's the name had a high too? 2 was third. No. Look like this the highest number of people furloughed. No, that's a lot. Let's continue.
outright to you?
That's probably about right. Yes, and I mean, there's different ways we look at it. So yes.
So what's the message to veterans watching this morning and a little nervous about what that means?
So when they see all of this here, the report asked them, what's the message to the veterans about all these changes and what they be concerned about? Tell me if you agree with his message. Tell me if you agree with his message. Okay. Yes, indeed. Congratulations, Farm Girl Rebel. We hope you get that increase. Now, what do you agree with the message? Let's get his message now. Straight from the Secretary of VA, Doug Collins' mouth to your ears.
Call their congressman, tell them to pass the CR. I mean, this is an issue that, I mean, very bluntly, this is a shutdown in the making, caused by really right now about 5 more Democrats in the Senate who would vote for a continuing CR, which they voted for in March, to continue it for 7 weeks, to continue the policy discussions that we have. This is a truly self-made problem in Congress, and especially right now in the Senate, that is keeping us from that. I think the veterans, though, as we have just said, especially with their health care, especially with their mental health care, our call lines, our 411, our 1-800-MY-VA 411 lines are going to be open. The vet crisis line is going to be open. Our vet centers are going to be open. So we're going to continue to minister and work for our veterans to make sure they have what they need.
Did you hear him, brother? Did you hear him, Brother Charleston? He's back at God work. He said he's going to continue to minister and help veterans with what they need. Do you hear the preacher, that Pastor Hart, coming out? Listen to that again, y'all.
Continue to minister and work for our veterans to make sure they have what they need.
I mean, come on now. He used the word minister. He's doing it as a servant, fam. And I'm not trying to mock him. I'm just saying that's what the man said. Now, Farm Girl Rebel, I'm just saying, what's your opinion on it? Rose says, I'm trying for 100%, but we shall see what they say. I'd rather be 100% than TDIU. Now, let's see. Charleston Zimmerman said, yes, I agree. Veterans always suck it up. Yeah, and drive on. Now, here we go. Gary says, as a retired veteran employee, now this is what Gary said, as a retired federal employee, all right, I had to correct that. I can tell you that the shutdown and continuing resolutions are just a part of being a federal employee. How many times while you were working, how many years did you work as a federal employee, Gary? And how many times do you remember the government being shut down? Now, listeners say, amen, pass the plate. You try to say you're in it for just the money. Huh? They say the stairway to heaven paid with gold. Now, listen, Dollface Soldier. Let me see what he got here. Oh, man. What he needs to do is go back to the pulpit and lead the VA to competent people. Man, you ain't holding no punches tonight. Now listen, okay? Now, CR, I wonder what that stood for, continuing resolution. CR, continuing resolution, aka kick the can down the road to hold off later. Okay. That's what CR, when he keeps the accountants keep talking about CR. Let us continue.
But there are many veterans who work in the federal government. It is sort of surprising to me that the same folks on Capitol Hill who were so upset with veterans and veterans working in Capitol Hill when they were discussing how we were reorganizing our department seem to be very silent now that those same veterans are going to have to be furloughed because they won't continue the government funding.
So he getting on the Democrats for people not working at the VA, and he the ones that recommend that tens of thousands of VA employees reduction in force. I want to know his answer to that one. Amen, man. Man, too tired. Okay, let's go.
Are you expecting the Office of Management and Budget to step in and let go more people in the VA during the shutdown? Is that something that could impact VA employees?
Not at this point. I think we're working with OMB to make sure that we're focused on our employees, and we've been working with them all along. I think the great thing that we have had is we've been able to reshape our force through folks who took early retirement in that process, and we've reshaped that. It's been publicly reported about 30,000 over the past 9 months, and at the same time,
30,000 fewer employees.
Yes, fewer employees since the first of the year. Now, I have to say that, and also caveat at this before anybody starts saying that it's affected veteran services. Our wait times at our hospitals, our CBOCs, all have gone down, and
They say the wait times have went down at the VA, but they keep rescheduling appointments. Do you feel that the wait times, and that's a feeling because we don't know what numbers he have access to, have the wait times went down for appointments at the VA hospital? Do you believe that? Put in there. Okay, let me see. Give me a second. Do you feel that wait times are down with VA hospital appointments? Let us know. Now, while you doing that, I'm gonna tell you what our brother Gary says. 20 years and talk of shutdown several times and actual shutdown 2 times. Okay. Now, I've waited almost 2 hours for my checkup. Okay, 2 hours. Okay. Now, I think wait time is talking about for you to actually get to the appointment. So I need to be clear. Wow, waiting 2 hours to see somebody is horrible too. Now that's another issue. When you get there, how long have you waited? Wow, that's long, brother. Now listen. She say, have to run, gotta check on a new horse that it have starved to death. My Lord, I hate when people don't take care of them animals. That now lives in my barn. Make sure she is eating and drinking, because when a lot of times they gotta eat, you gotta take it easy when you're feeding them. See you all later. Have a great night. Everybody say good night to our sister. Now, this is getting interesting, fam. Let's get to it. We're over halfway done.
we've also shaved off almost 50% off of a backlog of disability claims that were over 125 days old. And I have to report also that yesterday, as of yesterday,
They shaved off how much on the backlog? Y'all tell me. Let's see what he says. He making claims again.
that were over 125 days old. And I have to report and we've also shaved off almost 50% off of a backlog.
So 50% off of claim backlog. Let's see what they. Now, do you believe that they've shaved off 50% off the VA claim backlog? Our sister Betty Bob said that's a total lie. Total lie. I guess that was from the Philly regional office. Boy, y'all got jokes. Not in Philadelphia. Okay. My claim took 9 months. He said they've shaved off 50%. Just now, let's just listen to the trick bag language. Even if that's true, does that mean they properly adjudicated the claim? Just because they completed it fast, does that mean they completed the claim properly? How many errors was it? How many duty to assist errors was there? Come on now. Will veterans complain about the decision? How many? Not in California. 50% of the. He said 50%. Let's play that again. I'm gonna continue the video. Listen what Doug Collins said.
Times that our hospitals, our CBOCs, all have gone down. And we've also shaved off almost 50% off of a backlog of disability claims that were over 125 days old. And I have to report also that yesterday, as of yesterday, we did 3 million disability claims. The previous record was 2.4 million.
Wow. As of yesterday, they've cleared over 3 million claims. Did they adjudicate them properly? Who knows? We'll see when denials are faster. So adjudicated, that doesn't mean they're not being clear on how many was approved, how many claims were denied. Come on, fam. Or how many were deferred. Let's talk about it.
The VA is working efficiently right now, and we're working it through with some great employees. I'm very proud of them.
You have the unique perspective of having seen these funding fights on the congressional side when you were in Congress, and now as the head of an agency. What sticks out to you? What would you tell the folks who are on Capitol Hill going through the politics of this as you go through the day-to-day impacts?
Yeah, John, it's a great question, and I've thought about this a lot over the last little bit. I look back on it a little bit differently, and also been involved in this. When you make demands, especially at times like this, it's going to be very difficult to get those. Those policy discussions should have happened earlier in what is frankly a broken appropriation system. But I mean, really, the one thing that people need to alert themselves to now is that we're at a time in which, again, you're in a CR. We've been in the CR, for a continuing resolution, for a while. This is simply extending that for 7 more weeks. The discussions that I've seen many of my former colleagues on the Democratic side wanting to talk about health care and the Obamacare issue does not expire till the end of December. And they're using this right now to hold the American people hostage over this issue. And the realization is what they're asking for is about like if you had a house that was valued $1 million on the market and somebody said, I'll offer you $50 for it. Are you going to take that offer seriously? This is what they're offering is cutting out $50 billion for rural health care. So I'd say it's taking and adding back stuff that has been already done. I think this is the problem we're having. There's no negotiation when your offer is not reasonable. And that's the problem we're seeing right now. So I would just tell them, get in a room, solve it. Remember that they work for the American people, as we all do. And I think they will at some point. This is a lot of times posturing, but it is unfortunate posturing because it's about people that get hurt.
When you say you think they will solve it, do you think they will extend those healthcare subsidies from dating back from the Affordable Care Act?
That's the great thing about not being in Congress. That's their problem to figure out. I think what they need to do is pass the CR, get us continue on. We've done this many times before, especially from the perspective over the last few years. You put this further down the line, then deal with the issues. I think, frankly, passing a clean CR adjusted for inflation is the best way to do this. If you need more time, get more time, and then solve those issues through the regular process. We've gotten too adept at spending through non-regular processes, which has caused a lot of the issues we have.
And then finally, Secretary Collins, where are you going to be today? What does the day look like for you under a shutdown?
Absolutely packed. We're here at the office. I got meetings all day today. I'm going to be with media all day today, and I appreciate you letting us come on to share the fact that our veterans are first here at the VA.
Do you think he's really going to be busy all day? Do you think he's going to be working hard for the veterans all day? Do y'all believe that? The pastor, now that has to be the truth, because that's a bold-faced lie if it's not. Do you think he's going to be busy helping the veterans now and looking out for us? He has to be doing something. Betty Bob say, yes, he did shave. Had my claim done in 9 days and denied in 11. Wow. Got the denial letter 11 days after I submitted it. Wow. So fast decisions, but may not be the right decision. Then we have Dogface Soldier says, I think what he means is that he denies 3 million claims. Wow. He say they broke a record on processing or adjudicating claims. Let's finish.
We're going to continue our health care. We're going to continue processing our disability claims. And I've got workers who are willing to come in and be a part of that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Full steam ahead here at the VA.
Well, we'll let you get to it. Veteran Affairs Secretary Doug Collins. Always appreciate your time, sir.
Take care, John. It's good to see you. Take care.
Huh? The man say he got work to do. While y'all sitting back hating on Doug Collins, he up there putting in work for the veteran. I ain't calling no names. You heard what he said. Huh? How you feel about Dougie Talks now? You gonna give that man his propers? How y'all feel about Dougie Talks tonight? Did he get down that time? Did he speak in a way that was convincing to you? Are you a believer now of our Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins? After hearing him speak, apparently Dogface Soldier is not. Dogface Soldier says, are you a believer? Are you convinced in Doug Collins' leadership now? Yes or no? Let us know and explain if you would like to. OM says no. Are you convinced now? Come on now. Now let me see where we at. Dogface Soldier said they had processed 3 million claims, breaking a record. That's what Doug Collins said. Dogface Soldier said, I think that means that he denied 3 million claims. So you think most of them was denials. Let me get this music back going. Fam, are we covering it thoroughly tonight? Are we doing what we're supposed to do? Fam, this is real talk here. Look what Charleston say, divide and conquer is typical. I'm assuming you stand in the federal government. Dogface Soldier say Dougie going to Concure after the interview. What's that? Oh, going to Cancun. Did not catch him. You remember they caught one of our senators down here going to when they had the hurricane. He left and went on vacation with his family. I can't say the man's name now. Now, Jalen would say they caught him in the airport. Jalen say no, he will be drinking coffee and texting fans, asking him where they meet for lunch. Wow. You think they look at this as a joke that people not having jobs, veterans concerned about their benefits? Nah, Vance is a veteran though, Gary. Hold on. Who said that? Jay Oliver? Vance is a veteran like us. Well, so is Doug Collins. Now, so Gary Walker says veterans need and deserve a director. Now listen what it say. What do we need in a director, family? We need to know. Gary is about to give us his opinion. You let us know, what do we need in a director of the VA? Secretary of VA. What type of leader do we need? Now listen what he says. Gary Walker say veterans need and deserve a director who is absolutely and truly neutral, not right or left leaning. Yes, indeed, because they're supposed to look out for the veterans, not their political party. Does that always happen? Now, Charleston says, Dougie lived up to my expectations. Wow. And your expectations of him is high or low? Now, we got to watch, because we know what you got to watch with you, because you put it out there, but what's your expectations now of him? Are they low or high? Betty Bob says Dougie did break a record. I'm among the 3 million denied claims. Wow. Oh, he seemed like what he's doing is backfiring, him boasting all this stuff. So family, we did it. We doing it tonight. And we really appreciate it. We went over the information. Hope it was informative. Now, the problem is when he blaming the Democrats and other people, you can't sling mud on people without getting some on you. Am I right? If you're going to talk about somebody else, y'all in the same room, when you slinging mud, you're going to get some on yourself. Am I right? Now, listen what he says here. What's y'all comment on it? H-Town did Soldier Boy dedicate a song to Dougie called Teaching Me How to Dougie. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, how to Dougie. Now, he says, Charleston says snakes are the lowest on my list. I wonder who you're referring to. Smash that like button if you haven't had a chance to do so, family. We've been here 2 hours and 14 minutes. We've been going through this information. Usually we could get done a little faster, but we doing it. About our channel, for those that are new, our goal is to be informative first, interactive, protective, respectful, transparent, and troll free. This is the reason we have the restriction that you have to at least be subscribe to the channel for 3 months in order to chat, because we've had what I would consider serious trolling issues that I deal with. Now all of a sudden they don't want to troll in other ways. Now they lost all the energy, family. All the other stuff they doing behind the scenes, they all quiet now. Because I delete them, block them, cut off stuff, shut stuff down. Oh, ain't got no energy. They said, well, he got to keep it open because he wants his channel to grow. The channel grow, it can grow slow. I'm okay with it growing slow, but it's been growing pretty good. It could grow faster, but what good is fast and you have low quality people in here with the good quality people? Gary Walk say, Betty, that denial was probably AI. Stay in the fight. Yeah. Oh, they got AI making decisions and without nobody looking over them. Now, artificial intelligence are making decisions. That's right. Thank you, Gary. I am staying in the fight. Remember, AI made decisions that were in error many times. Y'all can talk about, just chat what y'all want to talk about now. Until we get up to the after party, we just catching up. Your opinion counts, fam. We have our regular scheduled live streams on Sundays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. Tonight we started at 7. Had a family issue to attend to. If you would like to contact us or donate, here's our contact and donation information. Just stop the slide. You see it. We appreciate it. And you have any suggestions, just get to that same email where you can contact us and tell us what you think, topics you like to cover, or something specific. Because sometimes people like to ask for detailed stuff and they don't want to put in any work. So, that's what the troll was doing. I want to talk about MST. I want to talk about MST, military S trauma. And this a dude that was kind of sick. A dude want to talk about women getting violated. That was sick that he did that. I kept saying, hey, have you watched my other video? Wouldn't say nothing. You got to watch people. They'll sit and mock your channel or do sick stuff like that. That's a sick puppy to do something like that. Now, we at the after party, family. We are here. The conversation, anything you like to say. And OM is talking to everybody. Thank you, Gary. I'm staying in the fight. Okay. Let's see. Betty, that denial was probably, okay, we said that one. Now, family, any comments, questions, concerns? And I got one of you, family. Any questions, comment, or concern? Anything you want to talk about now? Anything. All right. Let us know. Now, when is the Navy's birthday? Somebody put in the chat. I hope I ain't missed it. So H-Town, you too busy for another before Thursday? I would like to see you report on shutdown again. Okay, I can do another one on the shutdown. Did we do a good job on it? I can give you an update on the shutdown. If y'all want an update on the shutdown, we'll do another one. If you would like before Thursday, another update on the shutdown, because when something is ongoing like that, I got to keep reporting it, keeping updates. Put one in the chat if you would like an update on the shutdown before Thursday. You would like one before regular schedule. I might do it on Tuesday or Wednesday. Let us know if you would like an update, or if there's breaking news, I'll do it before then. So put an update on shutdown if you'd like one. Update on shutdown. Dogface would like one, but I want enough people wanting it. Charleston wanted it. So H-Town, okay, yeah, I read that one. Now, okay, the Navy. When is the Navy's birthday? Give me the date. So y'all want an update on the shutdown? Okay. Y'all say, Betty, if the Sailors can win a Super Bowl after Katrina, you can get your 100%. Yes, indeed. Shipmate, keep the anchor up. That's what we're here to encourage each other. Okay, we're gonna be on October the 13th too. Okay. Gary says, H-Town, you stay folding them trolls like a cheap suit. I ain't playing on them. See, they just assume that, oh, he's such a nice guy. Here's the thing. The reason I'm a nice guy is you have no reason to come around me acting a fool. They assume that it just stresses me out so bad that I'll just be all miscombobulated and all that. No, I'm going to drag your partner. I'm going to sit there like I'm sitting there with my arm hurting. And next thing you know, I'm coming down on you like the Lord's fury. But stay ready. They tend to persist. They ain't going nowhere. And they might get one over on me here and there. Huh? But we're going to keep it going. Because they can't stand not having attention. So we're going to do it. A lot of people update on the shutdown. We're going to do an update. And we're going to do something on October the 13th. What day of the week is October the 13th? Somebody let me know. The Navy's birthday, what day is that? Let us know. And what is the temperature where you at? What is the weather and temperature where you at? Let us know. We're going to get ready to close it out, family. Go ahead and let us know. Now, one shutdown due. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up on my one shutdown due to affect private contractors that work on federal government contracts. They get out of work like federal employees. Okay. Reservoir Dogs, nice guy Eddie. Yeah, man, I need to watch that movie. I never watched it. So, family, for those of you that are here, Jay Oliver, thank you for being here. Betty Bobs, thank you for your contributing and being here. Thank you, Charleston, for being here. Let me know what day of the week is the 13th of October. We want to thank you, Dogface Soldier, for showing up and showing out. And thank you for that. Gary Walker for that input about federal employees. OM, thank you for contributing, and we appreciate you. Y'all notice we can kind of talk about other stuff, like especially when it's somebody getting their benefits, because y'all don't get off topic. Y'all put at to that person. I don't have no problem with y'all chatting, as long as it don't come distractive and we get off of what we're doing. Yeah, it's just some people, the trolls try to abuse it. They look at it as a door in to start confusion. Farm Girl Rebel, thank you so much. Take care of that filly. I don't know if it was a young horse. Mare, we call it a mare. Mare's an older female horse. And I'm from Texas, family. Now, filly is a young female horse. 2 years older usually. Now, let me see who I missed. I think I got Jay Oliver, and I missed MG Smith tonight. So I hope if you're watching, I hope you're doing good, okay? And Alaskan Ice, hope you're doing good. Bionic Woman, hope you're doing good. Benny, hope you're doing well. Miss y'all. I know y'all make it when y'all can. We thank you because you got a busy life. And as we said, the first person in was Jay Oliver tonight. Thank you. Now, any questions, comments, concerns, let us know what's going on with that temperature and where you're located. Now, OM says 80 degrees and partly cloudy here in Miami. Wish you the best. Charleston say 64 clear in Pennsylvania. Then Dallas Marquez fam is in the house. 74 degrees here in Dodge City, Kansas. Welcome for everybody. Show love to Dallas, and they say hey to Dallas. Monday, Columbus Day also. Oh, okay. This Monday coming up. Now, Jay Oliver says it was a great live. Thanks for the time. Enjoyed the night here from all of us. All of you soon. Good night. Yes, indeed. Let's say good night. Well, that's good. 15 likes and 15 watching. Really good. Now, Gary Walker says, it don't mean we don't have no excitement or disagreement, but let's keep it within reason. Let's work towards solution, not just clowning and acting immature. That's why we keep these trolls up out here. Now, listen, got a chance to visit my first Navy battleship and submarine, USS Alabama, the USS Drum. Much props to the Navy vets. I couldn't do it. Wow. Yeah, I was on it before they decommissioned the John F. Kennedy. That thing was humongous, man. 15 and 15 likes and 15 watching. Family, we want to thank you. We right up under the 2.5 hour time. Why did y'all enjoy it? Just let me know real quick. What was it about tonight? I shouldn't be asking this question because we're supposed to close out. What was it about tonight that y'all enjoyed so much? If some of you enjoyed it, what was it tonight that y'all enjoyed? Because we talked about serious issue that could really stress people out. Let us know. Now listen, Betty Bob says, H-Town, thank you so much. Have a lovely week. Austin Zimmerman says, shipmate, good night. Family, good night. Look on Tuesday and Thursday for an update, okay? All right, look Tuesday and Thursday for an update. All right, family. Let's see what y'all got here. Now, so Dogface Soldier says, I enjoyed the show today because you're live and is doing current events just like that snake Dougie. And that's relevant for us. Yeah, I didn't want to upset y'all, but I want to get the truth out. And we're going to keep doing updates. Okay, hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. All right. Give me a second. Y'all go ahead and come in. I think my youngin called me. Give me a second. I'll tell y'all later. I can't say because people be watching on here, but I'll tell y'all later what's going on, okay? And look what I said. Good night, family. Enjoy. This from my brother. Good night, family. Enjoy H-Town. Fair and balanced reporting. Thank you. I'm trying to be. That's why I asked which one the statements he made was true and which one was a lie. He said a lot of truths, but If you're lying and telling the truth, is that a problem? You know what I'm saying? All right, or is he just misspeaking? I'm trying to get a pastor some grace. Now, OM, everybody participates in the chat. That's what you like about it. Great. Good night, everyone from Dogface. So say good night. Love you all. Love you too, brother. Good night, H-Town. Until the next time. Say good, take good care of yourself and stay safe. Everyone salute. Family, that's gonna be it for tonight. I gotta run, but I appreciate you. And we're closing out anyway. We just at 32 hours, 30 seconds. And you say, enjoy your family. Okay. And we want to say thank y'all for joining us. And we want y'all to have a wonderful night. Until next time, be looking forward. We might be here Tuesday or Thursday for an update on the shutdown. Good night.